Hi, my love. Welcome to your Halloween Hauntings reading. I am so excited. Like, I can genuinely say I am so excited to do this reading for a couple reasons. One, this is the ultimate tarot reading that I created for the fall season. Aside from like doing my my live sessions, this reading is like the ultimate tarot. It's a large tarot spread that I created. So I personally created this spread. And it's really fun, and it's just, you get a lot of information. And the way I designed it is I pull multiple, oops, sorry, I just want to move my crystal. Sorry, love. I pull multiple cards for each position. So you just get a lot of information in the reading. And I just want to say, get yourself a pen and paper because you're going to want to take notes. The other thing is, I do apologize if the lighting is a little bit too dim. It doesn't look that dim on the camera, but I have my window blinds open just a crack. But it's very smoky outside due to wildflowers. I wish it was wildflowers. Wildfires going on around. So the air quality is really bad, and it just makes it like the poor sun can't shine. So, so it's a little dim in here, but I did my best. And I have the notes too for your question that we're going to focus on, the topic of your reading. So I have that here. This is the spread that I'm using. So as you can see, it's a very lengthy spread. So I have it written down so I don't forget. And the decks that I'm going to be working with for your reading, I have the Gothic Tarot and the Bohemian Gothic Tarot. So I'm going to be using two different tarot decks because there's going to be a part in here where I want to kind of use one deck devoted to the other person. So the other person or the third party, I'm actually going to use the Gothic Tarot for them. And then everything else will be used with the Bohemian Gothic. So this, you'll know what I'm talking about, but I need to differentiate the tarot cards. So I wanted to make sure I did that. And then the Oracle cards, I'm going to be using the Madame Endora's Fortune cards, which I believe I'm going to use these last. And then I'm going to also use the Halloween Oracle throughout the reading. Oof, now I feel like I need to sneeze. Ooh, sorry. That's the air quality. I'm telling you guys, my sinuses are really bad today. Whew. From the smoke. Okay, so the Halloween Oracle, my Madame Endora's. Let me just get everything ready to go. And I need to cleanse my cards for the session, but I'm not going to light sage, because what is the point of lighting something like that if I'm already all stuffed up from this bad air quality? So I think I'll just go with spray. I'll use cleansing spray instead. Okay. All right. So let me just set the intention. I already have our candle lit, but I just want to set the intention. I ask that Spirit comes through. May Spirit, your guides, my guides, deliver the messages that need to be said and heard for you. And I'm going to use the spray, setting an intention to cleanse the cards on the table, cleanse myself, and we will open session. Okay, my water. I have my water, and I don't have a Kleenex, so hopefully I won't need that, but I'll just get up if I need it. Okay. All right. Where's my crystal? I've been using my amethyst. All right, my love. So we are going to look at, I'm not going to give complete details on what we're talking about here for the sake of privacy, but we're going to be looking at the overall, the energy of your relationship. So you guys have gone through some hardships, and we're going to be putting some focus on a nosy friend. So the third party, which is what I was talking about, they're going to be designated with the Gothic Tarot, okay? And so we're going to be looking at, you feel like you feel like this friend has bad juju on you, or they're placing bad juju on you. So I just kind of want to go with the intention of seeing what is this person's intention for you and your relationship. as well as looking at your relationship and seeing the energy of what it is and how it's doing and what is to come. Okay. And then also keeping in mind anything that maybe you need to watch out for as well for added protection for yourself. So hopefully, hopefully that is everything you wanted to have looked at in a gist. So let me go ahead and move. I'm not going to need this deck till later. All right. So we're going to start with the skeleton position, reality and truth of the situation or question. So the reality or truth of the situation and question. You know what? And then just to make things easier, because this is a lengthy reading or a lengthy spread, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle everything. So I just have to pull the cards because I don't want to be spending time shuffling for every little position. That'll just be way too lengthy. So Spirit, place the cards in the order you want them to appear. And I like to pull in threes, so for the most part, I'm going to be, whoop, Spirit wants to start with this one. Okay, so that means when they throw out a card like that, that means the deck does not want to be shuffled anymore. But yeah, I go in threes, so I'm going to probably pull 3 cards for each position. And I know I will run out of room on my table. So one more. All right. And this one. Alrighty. Okay. So the skeleton, the reality or truth of this situation or question. So we have Lady de los Muertos, the 10 of Cups, and we have the Knight of Swords, and that one actually came up in reverse, but actually it was probably, the whole deck is probably in reversed. Yeah. Because this card, I had to flip it over. Okay. All right. Reality or truth of the situation. So the situation meaning your relationship, the situation we're talking about, what we're looking for, what we're reading on. So the Lady de los Muertos, acceptance and equality. I really, really feel like first and foremost, the energy of this relationship, the reality is that you've accepted it as it is, okay? You have allowed yourself to go through those emotions of, you know, upset, disappointment, difficulties, and then also forgiveness, okay? So you've allowed yourself that forgiveness time. 10 of Cups and the Knight of Swords. 10 of Cups tells me that right now you guys are in a really, really good place. Emotionally, you guys are put together. The situation as a whole, you guys have come through your troubling times, your tower moment, so to speak. The 10 of Cups shows forgiveness, happiness, happy ending, okay? So right now, the energy of this relationship that you are in, you and your lover, you guys are in a good place, okay? You're in a really, really good place. Happiness. It's interesting because I know that this card just depicts family because you have like the lovers and then you have the baby and the other child, but it's almost like this child in the background feels like the jealous one, right? So I want to go ahead and say that caught my eye because of this other third party, okay? There's a jealous energy in the background of you guys, of your relationship. They are the looker. They are the eyes that are on you, okay? So that's definitely coming up. The Knight of Swords is impulse, okay? So I feel like one of you or your lover, has tendencies to act on impulse. You guys usually like rush into things. You rush into things in the heat of the moment kind of thing. Sometimes you fail to think things through. You take action before really thinking it. I also feel like this situation from your perspective, since this is your reading, That Knight of Swords tells me that you're in fight mode, okay? You are willing to, you know, put yourself out there and go into fight mode to protect what is very, very near and dear to you. So you will fight for your love. You will fight for your relationship and whatnot. And so I do feel like we have to keep in mind this Knight of Swords card. I'm going to make a mental note of this because I do worry that sometimes if you are in a very combative or a very like fighty, essence, you know, this third party, this person, you know, they can bring out the not so good qualities of you. All right. They will definitely bring that out. All right. So overall, the energy right now of the situation, it looks like you guys have found peace. You guys are in a good place. Okay. But there is definitely nosy, onlooking, jealous eyes, like I showed right there with that card. Okay, next we have the Halloween costume, what you were hiding from yourself. This is, the Skull of Darkness and Blind Spots, what you were hiding from yourself. You're very much willing to be illuminated to reality, because I feel like what took place prior to this was maybe you were not so much open. You were not so much aware, okay? And maybe that's why certain things took place to cause a little bit of a hiccup in your relationship, okay? So what I'm seeing is kind of like you've learned your lesson, right? You've learned your lesson from the past, and now you're illuminated. So I see that that candle is lit above you. It's your crown chakra. I feel like it's saying you are now very, very much illuminated. You're very much aware. You know what to look out for. You know the warning signs. You know how you feel. You're really more in tune with your intuition. So the blind spots is kind of telling me that you're very, very nitpicky about making sure you're in tune with not only your lover and their energy and where they're at and how they feel, but I also feel like with yourself too, your guard is up, okay? So the Halloween costume, what you are hiding from yourself, I feel like you're trying not to hide anything from yourself. I really feel like you're trying to be illuminated and you're trying to keep your eyes open. But I also want to say the skeleton, his eyes are darkened, they're black, and it's the blind spot. So I feel like it's kind of like, I feel like you can also be in a very obsessive nature where you're so open and you're so aware that it's sometimes overcomes or it overpowers you. I hope that makes sense. Like it just becomes too overwhelming sometimes. So let's see what the tarot cards are. We have the Hermit and we have the Six of Cups. Interesting. So the Six of Cups is that card of the forgiveness card. I see it as forgiveness or someone from the past coming back into the present, right? So the past could be the third party. But also I see the Six of Cups as forgiveness. I see it as an exchange or an apology. So that's very interesting. The Hermit card coming up for what you're hiding from yourself. I feel like sometimes there's a fear of loneliness or a fear of being single, a fear of being alone. Okay, I also feel like this experience in your relationship, it caused you to be a little bit more, again with the Hermit, he's in darkness, but he's illuminating with that light. He wants to see what is ahead. So I feel like for you, it's kind of like you've learned your lesson. You will never allow yourself to be put in the shadows. You will always have your eyes open. You will always be aware. So in a sense, it's healthy, but I also say, I'm trying to find a way how to say this because it's like at the tip of my tongue and I can't express it. Because it feels to me, it feels like a fear of like, you don't want it to happen again. You fear loneliness and being alone, losing that person. You fear experiencing this, take place again. It's trust issues. I don't know how else to explain it, but I will say that I feel like it's also trust issues, or it brings up some of your fears, and some of the fears maybe you didn't know you had a fear of being alone, but because of this experience, it's coming up, right? So that's why you're in that combative mode, that Knight of Swords. You're in the fight mode, right? Because you're willing to fight for what is very near and dear to you, because you don't want to tamper. You don't want to lose that. Really, really interesting. Okay. Next we have the full moon. What is consciously on your mind? Full moon. What is consciously on your mind? Forgiveness. Oh my God, these cards are so fucking accurate. We have reducing burden. Oh my God. So what is consciously on your mind right now? The act of forgiveness, okay? Peace. The white flower is a sign of peace and purity. You just want peace. You want peace with your lover. You want peace with yourself. You just want to be left alone. You want this person to just leave you guys alone. You just simply, I feel like you just want simplicity. You want simplicity. You want peace and quiet. You want no one to harm you. You just want to be left alone. And I feel like you realize the act of forgiveness is a powerful act. It's not easy to forgive people that maybe you once cared for this person and they betrayed your trust, It's hard to forgive somebody from that, but it's like you realize that forgiveness sets you free. Forgiveness allows you to be at peace, right? So maybe that's what is not subconsciously, what is consciously on your mind is that you realize you got to forgive to move on, right? You got to forgive, maybe not ever forget, but you got to learn to forgive so that you can move on from these experiences and from these situations, okay? Next, for the tarot cards for that, we have the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands is very passionate and very, very much aggressive, very much on fire. And then we have the World, which is all about endings and completions and fixing cycles and ending cycles. So I do feel like what is consciously on your mind, one is remaining. So this card doesn't really depict the Knight of Wands that great, I would have to say. But what is consciously on your mind with the Knight of Wands is really embracing your passions, what you are passionate about, what you are so... embracing the things that you love and the people that you love. And that's one thing that is consciously on your mind. Keeping the flame sparked, right? Keeping the flame going. And then the World card is breaking old habits, breaking old unhealthy cycles, okay? This could also be breaking free from old connections with people that are no longer good for the two of you too. So the World card is endings and whatnot, but I also see it as breaking free from cycles or habits that are just not healthy for us, okay? So I do feel like consciously that's also on your mind, that you and your relationship, in order for your relationship to maintain being strong and being in this really good emotional state that it's in right now, you got to be willing to break free from old cycles and not fall into the same pattern, okay? Wow, I love it when the cards are so accurate. Okay. See, I told you I'm going to be running out of room on my table. Next, we have the Gravestone. What is behind you? The energy of the past. What is behind you? The energy of the past. So we have the Vampire, emotional intelligence. Your card, we have the Page of Cups. I'm also going to pull the card for her. She has the Queen of Wands. Interesting. Okay. So, what is behind you guys? Let me flip these over. I'll read it in reverse if I have to, but if I don't feel like it needs to, I won't read it that way. Okay, so what is in the past? The Vampire, what do vampires do? They suck the blood, they suck the life out of you, okay? That's what was taking place, so to speak, right? Figuratively speaking, in this relationship, something took place where the love was sucked out of this relationship. The trust was sucked out of this relationship. This third party person involved may have done something to cause that to happen, right? The emotional intelligence in the past too as well shows that you were started to really evolve your intuition, your emotional connection, being able to really tap into energy. Like I said, prior to that, before with the blind spot card, prior to this, now that you're illuminated, now that you're more aware, prior to that, maybe you weren't so much aware. Maybe things were happening under your nose that you didn't realize, or you just failed to notice, right? Maybe you noticed, or maybe you felt like your relationship was kind of going downhill, but you didn't really do much about it, kind of thing. You know what I mean? And that's what I kind of see with the Vampire, was like something or somebody was sucking the life out of that relationship. And you weren't as sensitive to seeing the signs, So unfortunately, like, you weren't able to do much to prevent it, right? Your energy in the past is coming up as the Page of Cups. The person in question, the third party, is coming up as a Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands, they know what they want and they will get it, okay? They are very, very feisty, very sexual people, okay? That Queen of Wands. You coming up as a Page of Cups shows to me your emotional how do I say this? Like your emotional intelligence, that Vampire card, you being aware was a little bit more immature than it was where it is now, right? You had to go through something to advance in your relationship. You had to go through something to grow, right? So I'm not like, I'm not putting you down or anything. I'm just saying a page compared to a queen, this girl knows what they were doing. This person knows what they were doing, right? Versus with you, there's a little bit more of being naive. I guess that's the best word to say, naive. So that's in the past. So next we have the Corpse, subconsciously on your mind. So we looked at what was consciously on your mind, now subconsciously on your mind. We have the Hearth, happiness in our hearts and homes. So subconsciously what you want, underneath everything, deep down, deep in your heart, you just want simplicity. Literally, I feel like simplicity. You want things to go back to the way things were. You want to just be able to erase certain people and events and just not deal with it anymore, right? You want things to be peaceful and just back to the way they were. We have the Danse Macabre. I love it. I'm gonna have to pull an extra card with this because this is just a little bit too it's not your typical tarot card, so I'm gonna pull another one and another one. Okay. But intuitively, like what I'm seeing from the Danse Macabre, like I feel like this is just to have fun, like letting loose, being able to celebrate something, right? Being able to feel good. Just like, I mean, obviously everybody in this picture, they look to me like they're dancing, they're free, it's a very peaceful place to be, not a lot of worry and struggle, right? Happiness, joy, celebration. And then we have the King of Cups and we have the Ace of Cups. So lots of cups with subconsciously what you want. You just want everyone to be open. You want your lover to be open with you emotionally and vice versa. You want to be able to express your feelings and vice versa. You want to be able to have communication, strong communication. I feel like that's very, very important for you two, to maintain communication together. That King of Cups, definitely. So your lover is coming up as a King of Cups here. And this is definitely somebody who's in tune to emotion, but also not being afraid to express what is on your heart, okay? A King of Cups will be very, very good at that, but they could also be very good at shutting down. So that could also be another thing too, is subconsciously. If this is you or your lover that has the habit of shutting down and not communicating, subconsciously that could also be something that you know you have to work on, okay? Now I say this in terms of like looking at you because obviously this is your reading, but I also say this towards your lover as well. So everything that I say that you need to focus on and work on, the same thing would go to them as well. This isn't just you putting in all of the effort in this relationship. This also goes to your lover. So it's very important that I say that, because I don't want it to feel like I'm telling you have to do this, you have to fix this. But I definitely feel with the King of Cups, with the King of Cups and the Ace of Cups, there needs to be, sorry, sometimes it's like I forget to breathe when I'm talking too much. Let's just take a break and have some water. Sometimes I just talk too much. Spirit like comes through me and I'm just so overwhelmed. Okay. I feel like you guys need to focus on communication, okay? Subconsciously, I think that's what you know is on your mind. No more secrets, no more holding in feelings, no more shutting down, okay? Everybody has their own way of how they like to process their emotions. But sometimes if someone is constantly shutting the other person out, you're not progressing. So make sure that that's an issue. If it is an issue, that you guys talk about it, okay? Next we have the jack-o'-lantern, the future. What is lighting your path? Oh, I'm so happy, okay? The future, we have the Joy card. Oh my God. So this is rejoicing in the present. So the future is telling you, for one thing, happiness and joy, freedom, peace, love, okay? But it's also saying to be in the present. So even though we're looking at the future of what's to come, you know, what is lighting the path, it's also being in the present, okay? Maintaining a present focus on your relationship is going to be very, very important. Like if you guys already went through the rough part, you talked about it, you forgave, now you guys got to continue moving forward and moving on, but also still maintaining the present focus, okay? No more dabbling into the past. If the past is in the past, okay? If you both mutually decided to agree to forgive and move on, you guys agree to forgive and move on, okay? You only tap into the past when it's necessary. So the tarot cards for that, we have the Star. Oh my God, this is so eerily accurate. The Star card is the card of hope and healing, okay? So what is coming up in the future? What is being illuminated? Healing, hope, faith, beautiful stuff. And we have the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles, this card doesn't really show it that well, but the Four of Pentacles is about keeping things close to you, okay? Don't spread your secrets. Don't share your drama with people. So I feel like in the future, this is a lesson that maybe you've already learned, but this is something you need to put into action towards the future, is don't reveal your dirty laundry to everybody, okay? Don't put your stuff out there for everybody. Keep your inner circle very, very tight, okay? Especially if this involves you and your significant other. The things that go on with you guys, whether you're in that healing process or whatever, keep it close. You guys keep that together to yourselves. Don't invite so many outside opinions, because when you do that, you literally open up a portal and then you just create unnecessary attention, okay? So make sure that in this future, moving forward, if you guys are able to move on and get through this and whatnot, which it looks like obviously you guys are, keep your circle very, very tight, okay? You've learned your lessons, basically. Next we have the Devil. So the Devil is the outside influence to watch out for, the energy of this outside influence. So I'm going to actually pull from the other deck. So they have the Mummy change as the outside influence, and then their cards are the Six of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. Interesting. Okay. So, that's Six of Pentacles. And okay, so first off, the outside influence that you need to watch out for. They're coming up as a mummy, the change, okay? This person, they know how to kind of manipulate. I really get that feeling. They know how to manipulate. They know how to put the mask on, right? They know how to hide. They know how to be sneaky, okay? That's the vibe I'm getting from that. The Six of Pentacles, they know also how to do the energy exchange. They know how to give you what you need when you need it most, which is probably how this person snakes their way through, right? So that's something to be aware of. This person is very, very emotionally manipulative. They know how to pull the strings. They know how to get into the deep crevices of someone's relationship or someone's life, okay? The Knight of Cups coming up, very in tune. They lie in wait. They're very patient in the way that how they attack. So you're coming up before as the Knight of Swords, which is very impulsive. This person is very careful and calculated, okay? They like to sit and observe. They like to feel out the situation. They look for patterns. They look basically for a way in, okay? And then they attack. So they like to lie in wait as a Knight of Cups. They could be very emotionally manipulative, okay? Which I'm sure you're already very much aware of with this person, but definitely the cards are showing that. But I also want to say they do know how to provide or give what someone needs. Maybe not so much in a positive way, but they know how to snake their way through, right? So that is coming up for the devil, the outside influence to watch for. Their energy is very sneaky, very, very sneaky. So your intuition is on point about that. Absolutely. The demons. So the demons is, how is this influence affecting you? So for you, you got the jack-o'-lantern. Wow. Protection. How is it influencing you? It is causing you to feel the need to protect yourself and your relationship, to protect your inner circle, but more so yourself, okay? So absolutely, this should actually answer one of the main questions you asked about protection and all of that. You need to do that. Ways to protect yourself. Obviously, you could do it symbolically, you know, designate a crystal for protection. Do protection every, like, at least once a week. Light a candle for it. And there's different ways you could do protection. An energy cleanse, a cleansing of the house constantly. But also I feel like protecting your social media, right? Is this person allowed to see your stuff? Do you block them? Are they blocked? Are they muted? Are they able to see your stuff? Are they able to see the significant other's content? Okay. Are there mutual friends? Does this person have mutual friends with other people that maybe you or your lover mingle with? Is that how they snake and get sneaky and snake their way through? Right? You got to look at all those areas. Okay. But definitely this should answer your question. I would absolutely 100% go into protection mode. The tarot cards. So the tarot cards for this, how is this influence affecting you? So for you, we have the King of Swords, which is interesting because it's also a step up from that Knight of Swords that you got. So the King of Swords, and then we have the Eight of Cups. So what I'm seeing for how this is affecting you, their influence, this person's sneaky manipulative influence, for one, it has your guard up. Absolutely. So in the beginning of this reading, that's what I said, is you have your guard up. Look at this King of Swords. He's in armor. He is in full-blown armor. He's in protection mode, right? You have your armor up. You have your wall up, your guard up. This could be a good thing, but it could also be a bad thing because sometimes maybe it makes you feel like you always have to have your guard up. Maybe it makes you feel crazy sometimes, or like you feel like you can't trust anybody, right? The other thing with the Eight of Cups, how is it influencing you? The Eight of Cups is escapism. The Eight of Cups is also filling voids, right? The Eight of Cups is that desire to escape sometimes the reality of situations. So sometimes it might make you want to go into escapist mode, not wanting to go out, not wanting to go, you know, socialize and be around people that you normally love to be around because maybe that person is a mutual, you know. That's very stressful. That's very stressful, and I could see why it would cause that. Maybe you don't enjoy social media anymore because you feel like this person is always looking at your shit, right? It makes you feel like you're a lab experiment, right? Like you're this little lab mouse and people are just watching you, waiting to see what happens. So I could see where that Eight of Cups can be very emotionally difficult, and it makes you want to escape reality a lot of the time. So that could be very unhealthy for you. So definitely keep that in mind too. Next we have the Graveyard, the outlook on the path that you should take. The path you should take. We have the Ghost card with regret. So the path that you should take, I feel you need to take a path where you will not have regrets, okay? You need to take on a path where you will not regret having not worked hard enough or not fought hard enough. So the tarot cards, we have the Tower and Death. Oh, wow. So I definitely feel like with the path you need to take, I see this Tower card and Death card as ending mutual relationships with this person. I hate to say it because I know it sucks when you see maybe like some of your friendship circles are kind of falling apart because this person is a mutual. But sometimes if those people, your mutuals, if they're making you feel that you can't trust them either, what's the point, right? So I do feel like that Tower card and Death card is kind of saying sometimes you got to break down some of these friendships, some of these feelings, and start new, the Death card. The Death card isn't always bad. The Death card usually reveals there's change on the horizon. There's a new doorway opening a new path. But the Tower card is saying you have to literally break it down first. So sometimes something has to break apart in order for the change to take place. So I'm feeling intuitively, I feel like there's mutuals you need to get rid of. I feel like you need to block accounts, or at least learn to set your boundaries a little bit higher and stronger with certain people. Okay? And maybe this is with you, but also with your significant other, the same thing. Okay? Next we have the Black Cat, something or someone that will cross your path. So we have the Invisibility card, Authenticity. This looks like a mysterious person, a mysterious ghost, right? We don't really know yet who this person is. We have the King of Pentacles, and we have the Queen of Swords. So female, perhaps. King could be a combo, a couple, okay? So it could be a couple that's together. If this is mutuals, maybe these are the people, right? You know, I'm only throwing that out there because obviously I don't know. You're going to be the one that's going to make that connection. But this could also resemble two people. So there could be two people coming into your life, crossing your path, right? I think that's how I'm going to leave it with that. The invisibility, the authenticity. This could also be two new people. If these aren't people that are going to be exiting your life because you set your boundaries higher, then these two people could also be more authentic, because since this is the authentic card, invisibility, authentic, oh my God, I can't talk. Authenticity. Maybe it's actually opening up space for newer, authentic friendships, okay? Maybe that Death card is saying you get rid of the old and then the new will come in and you'll be able to replace some of those open, spots for friendships with actual authentic people. So there's that too. So the people crossing your path may not always be negative, okay? It could actually be a blessing in disguise to cut free somebody or someones that are no longer healthy for you guys. Maybe a newer friend or a couple will come through that'll actually be worth your time, okay? But I also see this as saying what you need to cross your path is more authentic people. You need more friendships that you could trust, okay? The Werewolf, how will this change you for the better? How will this change you for the better? We have Zombie, Control. Oh my God, I love it. You're going to have more overall control over yourself, your relationship, and your life, your emotions. Having more emotional control, absolutely. Absolutely. How else will this better for you? Ace of Pentacles, new opportunities. New opportunities. Six of Wands, fucking success, okay? By cutting free, breaking down, cutting free, setting your boundaries, all of the above, by doing everything that I just said, you're going to see control. You're going to have better control, whether this is control over your social circles and control over your life, yourself, your relationship, all of the above. New opportunities coming through. You make way. You clear out all the clutter and the dust and the old. The new stuff has room to come in, okay? And then the Six of Wands is successes. Good, like really good quality friendships and people you could trust. I love that. Oh my God, absolutely. Crystal Ball, the possible outcome. We have the apple, risk and reward. And look at within the apple, it's a heart. The outcome, the possible outcome, if you do all this that I said, you receive it. It's like you, the hand, you are receiving that love, okay? You are receiving that reward by taking a risk, cutting off boundaries, cutting off certain connections with people, dealing with this person. You will receive a reward. You will have what you need. It's beautiful. The tarot cards, 10 of Pentacles, abundance, 3 of Swords. 10 of Pentacles, the abundance, to me, is the happy ending. The 3 of Swords, sometimes going through the pain and the realization of that. Three of Swords isn't always breakups. It's not always a breakup card, okay? And in this case, I see it as this is the breakup of defeating, killing, not literally, but you know what I mean. Cutting down, breaking down the toxicities, getting rid of this third party, getting rid of the mutuals that are connected to this third party. This third party has, like I said, this third party is sneaky. They lie in wait. They have connections somehow to know what the hell is going on in your life and in your relationship. There's mutuals there. So you break it free, and sometimes it sucks because it hurts to let go of people or to at least distance yourself from people. But are those people really being genuine friends? That's what you have to ask yourself, and trust your intuition. Lastly, we have the Oracle card for advice. So this is where I'm going to use the Madame Endora's cards, and I'm going to pull 3. So advice on this entire reading, you got the stars. A long journey brings rewards. You will be rewarded. This relationship is going to be rewarded. Okay? You guys went through some stuff. Every relationship goes through stuff, my love. Okay? There's nothing to be ashamed of or embarrassed of. Every relationship goes through it. And, you guys conquer. You move on. But this will be rewarded. This path will be rewarded. The Minstrel, let your intentions be known. So Spirit is saying you need to make sure you let your intentions be known. Communicate with your lover. Let your intentions be known to this third party member. Okay? If you don't like their energy, you don't want them in your content, you don't want them looking at your stuff, let your intentions be known. Guarantee if you have to break free and cut off friendships, mutuals, you're going to have to let your intentions be known with those people too. Okay? And lastly, we have the Oracle. Seek wisdom and guidance from others or elders. Be very careful with this though. So the Oracle, I feel, is obviously you're coming to me for advice, right? You're reading. So that's one way, the Oracle. Going to others for advice, getting a reading. I love that too, because it's kind of like I'm not connected to your relationship or anything. Like I'm just merely reading the energy of what's going on, right? So that's one way to go about it. If you choose to get advice from a friend or a family member or somebody in your inner circle, remember how I was talking about keeping your inner circle very tight? Be very careful with who you share your stuff with, my love, okay? Because not everybody is going to be a friend. I have learned this lesson so many times myself. You would think that once it happens 1 or 2 times, you're going to get it. But it's very hard. So make sure as you consult the Oracle, whether it's a literal reader or it's a family member or friend, that you truly can trust that person. And what I'm honing into is that eye, because I see the eye as protection, okay? So make sure you are really tapping in and trusting your intuition. Is this person worthy of you to share your innermost, deeper fears and feelings to? Okay? Make sure you trust that intuition. But other than that, my love, this reading was freaking mind-blowing. It is absolutely, I mean, at least for me, from my perspective, I'm like, holy shit, every card was like on point. The other reason why this felt this way was because you were open. So sometimes I'll do readings, and it's been a while since I've experienced a reading like that. But sometimes I'll do readings where I feel so blocked because the person I'm reading for is just not energetically open to receiving. But you were definitely open, so everything flowed. Everything really flowed. I have to say, I love reading for you. Your energy just feels really good and open. You have a lot of trust in receiving, so I'm glad. I hope that you were able to take away a lot from this. I hope that this gave you something to think about, some insight, courage, right? I hope you took notes. And I just wish you all the best, my love. I wish you and your relationship all of the best. May you guys continue to grow and evolve. And I hope that you are able to kind of cut the cords with some of these other individuals that seem to have popped up in the reading. Okay? So with that, my love, thank you so much for allowing me to connect with you. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or feedback, please send me an email. And anybody who is watching, these are my Halloween readings. They are available on my website. They are currently at a discount, $5 off each one through the Labor Day weekend. So the sale will go away as of midnight tonight. So make sure you snag your reading before then. But otherwise, these readings will be available through October 31st. All right, my loves, I will talk to you later. Bye.